Fans only. Play full game. Entering team select screen. The Tennessee Titans, the home team, are selected. Ready.
Today, from Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee, it's Week 9 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Ryan Tannehill and the Tennessee Titans taking on Mitchell Trubisky and the Chicago Bears.
Being located in the Music City, this building has hosted a lot of great music acts since its inception, but this is what she was made for, NFL football, and that's what we have today in Nashville at Nissan Stadium. The whole of downtown Nashville likely still reverberating with the sounds of the Titans taking the field a moment ago. They're ready for football as their Titans are set to match up with the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we take a look at this Titan Ball Club entering play. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? Now it's Adam Humphries on the return. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Here comes the Tennessee offense, and you see Ryan Tannehill leading them out.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. Out of the gun, Tannehill. And it's complete. Henry. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. It's an 11-yard pickup. Thought they'd run it on 3rd and 1. Not the case.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
A first down carry for Henry.
Derrick Henry, the ball carrier.
The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. 13 carries, 65 yards.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
Entering auto flip on pop-up. The eye will handle flipping your defensive play to best match the offensive formation. If you want to manually flip your defense in the play call screen, you can turn it off now. It will stay off until it is turned back on. Turn off auto flip. Keep using auto flip.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. A shotgun handoff to Henry. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line.
Again, the ball carrier.
Well, at that rate, picking up 3 yards a carry, you and I both know that doesn't cut it in this league and trying to get first downs unless you're playing 4-down football. Then that's a whole different situation. But I don't think that's what they're trying to do here. 3rd and 4, though, is still manageable.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. From the gun, here's Tannehill. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Tannehill to his top target, Brown, for a Tennessee first. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did. Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Tannehill. He's got the first down inside the 10 and all the way down to the 5. The end result, 21 yards. A cool little accomplishment for him passing the football. 25,000 yards. He just surpassed that for his career.
When he was a little guy in the backyard just throwing it around probably with his dad, he thought about playing in the NFL. He dreamed of it. But to put up these kind of numbers while doing so, that's got to be kind of cool for him. He'll enjoy the heck out of thinking about that when this one is over.
5 yards from the end zone, 1st and goal.
Let's go, defense. Let's get off the field, defense.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
That's a nice example of good team defense right there. Ball was snapped at the 1-yard line. They knocked them back and caused a loss. But you notice they were trying to find any type of a gap to run through. Wasn't one available, and they stuffed the play right there in the middle of the field.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Here's Tannehill. Brings up 4th down. Solid coverage by the Bears D. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
On 4th down, here's Steven Gostkowski for the Tennessee field goal. This is less than an extra point, just a 19-yard attempt. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And the Titans hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
And this carries into the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Bears getting the football here offensively, and the man in charge at QB. It is 4th year now from North Carolina, Mitchell Trubisky.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, Accentuate the Positive. Because that's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air. Receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them early.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. And quickly into the hands of Robinson. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. How about that? But they weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
The first carry for the shifty Tariq Cohen. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
A play fake to Montgomery. Now Trubisky. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
First down, a run with Cohen. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the shotgun is Trubisky. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Anthony Miller, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bears have taken the lead. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago.
Eddie Pinheiro, the kickoff for Chicago.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. Here's Humphries. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return.
Take over 1st and 10.
The Titans coming back onto the field for their 2nd drive. And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the #1 goal? Make the playoffs. #2, win your division. #3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the #1 seed so you get that first-round bye.
Derrick Henry Touchdown, Titans. Derrick Henry, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Titans are going to retake the lead. They had just given up the lead, and they get it right back.
Yeah, how about that? Answered quickly. Got right back to it. And look, long drives have their place. We know that. They can wear teams down. But when you hit them with big plays like that, that can really be a shot to them. A big-time one.
Yeah, one play, but now your defense is probably saying, man, we could have used a little more rest over here. Now Stephen Gostkowski on for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll start things on first with Tariq Cohen. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Throwing here, Trubisky. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now it's Trubisky. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
First carry now for David Montgomery. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Matt Nagy has made the decision. They're going to go for it here. They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And as a result, it'll be Titan football on the turnover on downs. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time John? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Running from the gun with Henry. And he's going to take this down close to a 1st down at about the Bears' 44.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Tenth carry now for Derrick Henry. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. Give him the 3rd down conversion. 5 yards on the play.
Nice carry there by Derrick Henry. Picks up a 1st down. And when you say workhorse, you're thinking about Derrick Henry. Won the rushing title in 2019 with 1,540 yards on the ground and 16 rushing touchdowns. Went to his first Pro Bowl and carried his team to the AFC Championship game.
Tannehill on 1st down. It's caught on the right side at Smith. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Let's go.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Tannehill. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Give the sack to Barkevious Mingo, the former number 6 pick. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
So 3rd and long after the sack. Tough task for Tannehill and the Titans. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And a good job defensively. They stopped him short of the 1st at the 32. It'll be a gain of 8, but it also lead to a 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, You see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And it bangs off the left upright and deflects away. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
A good pickup there at 22.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
So again from the 39, this time from the other side of the field. Here's 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he'll take this one down to the 36.
Number 32, David.
In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They snap it at 1. Now it's Trubisky. Open man is Komet, the tight end. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
Nice gain there by the second-year runner out of Iowa State, David Montgomery, who often finishes his runs moving forward and knocking defenders back. He finished tied with Josh Jacobs for the most carries by a rookie last year. But what the Bears need from him, improve on his 3.7 yards per attempt. If he gets that up into the 4s, look out. He can control the game with his running.
They'll run on first down. Cohen. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Jeffrey Simmons on the stop. A gain of 3 brings up 2nd and goal at the Titans' 6-yard line. That's the end of the first quarter.
10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Now a shotgun handoff to Cohen. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. They'll run for it with Montgomery. And, boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. They've now produced 3-yard gains on 3 straight plays. Leads us to 4th down. Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the 2nd quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your 2-point conversion plays, because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have 1 or 2 for the game. You have more like 6 or 7. Which one do you like here? Because that's essentially what you're going for right now. That spot of the field, call one of those and go get 6.
They're not going to kick it. A chip shot, but they're going for it down 3 on 4th down. They'll run for it with Tariq Cohen. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Tariq Cohen, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears have once again taken the lead.
Oh, this is what I love about calling these games. 4th and goal. This is all about leverage, who wants it more, and who's going to get it done at the point of attack, the line of scrimmage.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And that makes it 14-10.
His kick is good.
A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it was polished off by a Tariq Cohen touchdown.
Eddie Pinheiro to kick off for Chicago.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. Here's Humphries. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
The Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own 30.
Derrick Henry trots back out there and gets ready to go. Now, he's having himself a little bit of a banner game. His team right now, though, losing.
Needs a little bit of help, and I kind of equate it to a basketball game where you have the big score, and sometimes your strategy is, okay, he can go ahead and have all of his points. Let's hold down everyone else, and that's the way you win the game. And right now, he needs everyone else to start scoring, quote-unquote, as he's been.
Yeah, and he's hoping to keep it close so maybe they can keep it on the ground, not start to go through the air as much. Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at about the 32. He'll start with a give to Henry. Takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Tannehill with a play fake to Henry. He'll throw instead. And right side, Henry's got it. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
On 1st and 10, Tannehill out to the right to Humphries. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Derrick Henry. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
The Titans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
On 1st down, Tannehill. That's complete. Middle of the field to Humphries. And he's got this down to the 35. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a first down.
Well, remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw is Tannehill. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Tannehill. Yet again, it's Humphries. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 13-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
from the 13 now. They work on 1st and 10. Now it's Henry. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
No gain on.
It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back
Tiny.
there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
Derrick Henry, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. But now it's 3rd down.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line.
They'll take over.
Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now a throw left sideline here is complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
At the 22-yard line. A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 22. Out of the gun, running with Cohen. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a 1st down. Give him 6 yards in the 1st down. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up 1st downs.
Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. 50. Lock in.
They go play action with Trubisky. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It's Jeffrey Simmons that time who got in to record the sack.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
Sacks, a growing theme in this 1st half. This is 2nd and long. Now Trubisky. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Robinson. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Allen Robinson, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bears will extend their lead. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. Whoa! He just yanked that one well to the left and no good.
Pinheiro, the kickoff for Chicago.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one a first down pickup of 8.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll try the air now with Tannehill, and that'll be incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away, but the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
The Titans on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Henry. And Henry fighting for the marker, but I don't think he got there. He did not. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Last year's All-Pro punter Brett Kern comes on for Tennessee. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. Yeah, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Mitchell Trubisky on his way out, the subject of our players' spotlight. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
The protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. That's going to set them back 5 yards. They are pushed back 5 yards by the delay of game, 2nd and 8. Trubisky now off the bootleg. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. Rush coming, and he's taken down. B.J. Hill able to take him down. It's a loss of 3. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Caught out left side by Robinson. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
It's a gain of a yard, and it's 3rd down.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. Jeffrey Simmons able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
So on fourth down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep, Adoree Jackson. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this one will be touchdown inside the 40-yard line.
At their own 39-yard line.
And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. And, Charles, you can't really fault him. He's over 100 yards already. He's not the reason they're losing.
And that is really unusual because ordinarily when you've set the tone this way and have run it this effectively, usually your team's in control. So it's a very strange situation. And you're right, you can't fault him. He's done a great job for his team thus far.
I'm guessing he's saying, feed me on the sidelines. Now will they continue to do it? Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They begin with Henry. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Henry, the ball carrier.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. A 20th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. Calling an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
The Titans on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. The open man is Smith. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
1st and 10 at the
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
A 1st down carry for Henry. A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Now the rookie runner from App State, it's Darrington Evans. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
That's complete to his running back, Evans.
Tannehill's pass
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
They'll bring out 4 receivers, 3 of them being sent to the left, 1 to the right, 2nd and 4. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Now Tannehill. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Terrell Suggs able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big. But sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz. And even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Gostkowski now for the Titan field goal. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. Gostkowski's kick is good. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a 1-score game at 20-13.
13.
So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue, because you know after the sack there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
Incomplete. It's 4th down.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. And this will be touched by a member of the kicking team right on the midfield stripe. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL here on this first day of November. will begin up at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And it's the Vikings who are out in front. Kirk Cousins has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we'll make the trip down to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And at this point, they trail the visiting Baltimore Ravens. 2 touchdown passes there for Lamar Jackson. Finally, let's get to Silicon Valley to check on the 49ers at home at Levi Stadium. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Green Bay Packers. 24-21, the final score. In our game, it's been Mitchell Trubisky, who's looked sharp thus far. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And the half will begin with a touchback. The Bears offense led by Mitch Trubisky heading back out there. He's been pretty good when he's had time. The issue is, as we see here, a lot of times he hasn't had the time.
And a lot of that in getting past it is attitude. How's he projecting? Is he showing that the other team is getting to him? Is he showing his guys up front that he's upset, that he's angry? Or is he still encouraging? Because those guys, they've got to find a way to pick it up. And it always happens a little bit better if they feel like their quarterback's on their side.
So far, 5 sacks against him. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Throwing here, Trubisky. And quickly into the hands of Robinson. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. No question that they're going to continue to look his way. 6 catches in the first half and now 7 on the game. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
They really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. On the carry, it's Montgomery. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Now a shotgun handoff to Cohen. And he's taken down inside the 30. 15 yards on the play, first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
First and 10, it's Trubisky. And this will be caught by Mooney. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he is going to get this close to the first down markers. He's brought down at the Titans' 15-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Now a run with Montgomery. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep. 1st and goal.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. They'll run for it with Tariq Cohen. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
They'll run for it with Montgomery. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. David Montgomery with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Bears will add on to their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 14. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off.
Eddie Pinheiro to kick off for Chicago.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. Here's Humphries. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
It's the third quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard. And while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
The Titans offense gears up for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
On first down, it's Tannehill. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Khalil Mack in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Tannehill. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Corey Davis, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
Well, as we get ready for third down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on second down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on third and long.
He'll dump this underneath for Evans. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line, well short of the first. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker that the defense almost relaxed and said, we got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the fourth down.
Here's Brett Kern now as he'll kick it away for the second time. "39 yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. David Montgomery ready to take the field for the Bears' next possession. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock, but barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. The tackle is made by Adoree Jackson.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold him to a 2-yard run. But I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
From the 17, Trubisky. He'll get this complete into the hands of Riley Ridley. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 15 yards on the play, first down.
First down, Bears.
Oh, that was a pretty route right there because it's all about finding a window on a route like that. He lined up on his left, ran the deep in route over the middle, and the ball was right where it needed to be. Really good trust between quarterback and receiver. Really good completion.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Trubisky going to give this to Montgomery. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Trubisky gives to Cohen. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice, steady gain.
A couple of 1st downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Now Trubisky to throw. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 down at the 33. Now Montgomery. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Second down at 4. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
He was brought down.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, 1st round went to the offense, 2nd round the defense. Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out.
Offense.
That was a 3rd and somewhat manageable now, not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to throw it.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A Chicago 1st down. The former Jag, Allen Robinson, on the catch from Trubisky.
1st down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
On first down, Montgomery. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Now it's Trubisky. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. 7 yards, the pickup there.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
So from the 17, here's 2nd and 7. Montgomery back to the ground. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, running with Cohen. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll run with Montgomery. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
This is obviously a critical sequence for this defense if they want to stay in this game. Down 2 scores already. They give up a touchdown here. That'll make things really difficult for their offense moving forward.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. From the 8, it's 3rd and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, you remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
They're going on 4th down. It's Trubisky. And my goodness, this is incomplete. They can't hook up here on the fourth down pass attempt, and as a result, it'll be Titan football on a turnover on downs. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on fourth.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call, is it not? In this situation, everything was right except for the finish. You have to catch the ball and convert.
They'll begin on the ground with Evans. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Line of scrimmage is the 8 on 2nd and 8. Out of the gun, Tannehill. Well, it's caught on the right side at Smith. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. To throw is Tannehill. Over the middle to Smith.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
Here we go. Mike, check. 59.
Here's Tannehill. On a screen, this is Evans. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. I don't know how well our microphones are picking it up for those of you at home, but Charles, you and I can hear it. A lot of groans right now coming from this crowd.
I don't know if we're picking up what's happening in the stadium or from the people who are supporting this team at home, because it's coming through loud and clear to you and me. This offense, they've been stuck in neutral much of the game, and on that last play, they actually went in reverse. I think this crowd would have liked neutral, don't you?
Yeah, neutral would have strongly been preferred. They'll take anything positive at this point. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. Here's Tannehill. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Titans on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Tannehill throwing again. Short throw to Smith. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the first.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves, because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a 1st down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. He finds Humphries. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 41. Throwing again is Tannehill. Quick slant to Brown. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Very good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Now a 1st down throw, Tannehill. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Akeem Hicks in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front, nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Here's Tannehill. Pass caught left side by Humphries.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving. From the red zone now, Tannehill. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more than he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Tannehill with a play fake to Henry. He'll throw instead. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Tannehill. And that is incomplete.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
Gostkowski now for the Titan field goal. From the left hash, this from 46. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11.
Titans 16.
So a dozen plays on that drive, CD, but in the end, it yields just the 3 points.
Well, they were able to keep the defense on the field for a long time, but let's be honest about it. That was about as unsatisfying a drive as you're going to get. 12 plays and you only get 3 points out of it. Not quite the ending they were looking for.
Here's Cohen now to return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. He'll begin by dropping it off to Montgomery. This will go for 5 up to the 33.
David Montgomery.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
54 mark, 54 mark. Check, check. Watch 54.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They'll run on first down. It's Montgomery. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
From just shy of midfield, Trubisky quickly into the hands of Robinson. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Gain of 9 yards. First down, Chicago.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
54 mark, 54 mark. Check, check. Watch 54, watch 54. Check, 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 check.
On the ground, it's Montgomery. And he'll take this one down to the 36.
Montgomery, the ball carrier.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
The tackle.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8.
6 man. Check girls, check girls, check girls. Mike by 4, Mike by 4, Mike by 4. I'm here all day. I'm here all day. Switch, switch, Nathan.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. Well, if you're going to turn things around in a game like this, Charles, those are the kind of plays that you need.
And I just love the way that defense rallied to the football on that one. They got the completion, but he was smothered behind the line of scrimmage. And when you make tackles like that, your whole defense is going to be fired up. Really nice play getting to the ball.
Well, that last completion certainly not what they were hoping for, as now they'll try to convert on third. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Got some real estate inside the 30. Over the middle, complete. That's Robinson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 12-yard line. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Here we go, G. Get off the field. Shift. And one word. Hey, 18.
Here's Trubisky. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Darnell Mooney, the target there. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. This is Cohen. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 4. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. David Montgomery with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game as the Bears push further out in front. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. A 10-play drive that time. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off.
Eddie Pinheiro, the kickoff for Chicago.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Out of the gun, he'll throw. And his throw is incomplete. Corey Davis, the intended receiver. But it's going to be 2nd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a man open down the middle of the field. Now Brown, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. On first down, it's Montgomery. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
On 2nd and 7, Trubisky. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
A play fake to Montgomery. Now Trubisky. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Movement there on the offensive line. A little quick and a 5-yard penalty. And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And as a result, it'll be Titan football on the turnover on downs. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the fourth, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. And right away, he'll look to throw. That's complete to his running back, Evans. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now this one complete to Corey Davis, and he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And he will find Davis. That's complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
It's a gain of 9.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Terrell Suggs in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. So 3rd and long after the sack. Tough task for Tannehill and the Titans. Now Tannehill. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Brown. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. That's complete. Middle of the field to Humphreys. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Tannehill on 1st down. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Khalil Mack in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Out of the gun, Tannehill. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete.
Tannehill's
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Evans has it left side. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the 1st down. A gain of 9, not enough, and it's 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there, and they rallied and made the tackle.
move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They snap it to Tannehill. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. And he's got a first down there after a gain of about 12 as the clock will stop right now for the 2-minute warning.
10 at the 20-yard line.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like in the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing again is Tannehill. This one caught by Davis. Now Davis fumbles it, and I think the Bears have recovered. They have. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. They'll go to Montgomery to try to wind some clock. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Oh, Trubisky going to throw. And left side here, it's Graham. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
He's out of bounds.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though. Huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. The catch made by Miller. And they finally get him down at the other 46. A big play there for the Bears on 3rd. 42 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence, because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They run, Montgomery, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
On second down, it's Cohen. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for Chicago, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis Colts. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.